It was one of those Iowa cattle calls yesterday. You had 5 different folks who might run for president on the Republican side cycling through in a forum in Iowa. Take a look at some of what they had to say.
We need to be a country that turns toward God, not a country that turns away from God.
America, in my opinion, is a great moral enterprise.
Morality applies across the board.
The Constitution was designed to protect people of faith from government, not to protect government from people of faith.
So there should be no distinction between economic, national security, and social conservatives.
I was the conservative.
And that is one very big flag that those contenders got to appear in front of. We're joined now by Jeff Mason, White House correspondent for Reuters. And Jeff, I want to get your take first off on the gas price issue. This is going to be something that the lawmakers and the White House and beyond are going to have to deal with throughout the summer. We saw the White House say originally they think this is a blip, something that's only going to take a couple of months. But it seems like that strategy is shifting. What has changed externally that is forcing this reexamination?
You're right, and I remember President Obama saying just a couple weeks ago in a meeting with business leaders that he thought the U.S. would be able to ride out the Libya situation in terms of oil prices. That's not happening. Oil prices are going up, gas prices are going up, so you're seeing a lot more talk about different options such as tapping the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. They're not saying yes or no, but they're talking about it, and that's definitely a signal that it's a concern.
So what is the reluctance to tapping the reserve?
Well, there are pros and cons to tapping the reserve. Jay Carney, the White House spokesman, said yesterday that they're considering different criteria for that. One of the criteria is an oil price being really high. The main criteria is a supply disruption. One con would be if they tap it now and there's a bigger disruption later, that they will have already used their ace in the hole. So they have to think about all of those things when determining whether now is the right time.
More broadly, when you think about White House messaging, it seems like this White House has been snake-bit by events time and time again. This was supposed to be talking about jobs. They've seen some positive economic news, but are there any efforts now in the White House to kind of change the conversation again back to the fact that the economy appears to be growing, the fact that there's some new innovations that the White House wants to be pressing?
Yes and no. I mean, the president is going to Boston today. He's going to talk about education. He did that last week as well, and that's all part of the winning the future message that the White House is pounding on and trying to say the way that we win the future, the way that we improve our economy is by investing in education. That's how we create jobs. That's how we compete with countries like China. But you're right. Things in this case like oil prices or gas prices are coming back and biting them, and they can't escape that either. So they're trying to do a dual track message. They're trying to do both. But to answer your other question, I mean, the president is going to talk about education today. Yesterday, I asked him actually in the Oval Office about the SPR, the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, and he didn't want to talk about it.
Hey, so just quickly, we're almost out of time, but we've seen the White House embrace Mitt Romney, embrace Ambassador John Huntsman, saying nice things about them. Is that because they fear these guys, or are we going to see them saying nice things about other Republican candidates?
I think the term embrace is good. I think what they're trying to do is basically say, hey, these are the things that these two guys have done that actually fit with the Democratic agenda, and they're trying to highlight that. I wouldn't say that means they like them, although I think there is a lot of affection for Huntsman. But they want to highlight the ties. They're not trying to highlight the differences.
Exactly. Killing them with kindness all along. Jeff Mason from Reuters, thanks for being here. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
That does it for this edition of Top Line. It's twitter.com/Rick Klein, twitter.com/John Carl. John, it's the first time you're on in a while. You're not eating anything. Any food there?
No, not at all, but I do have a made in China teddy bear.